Hello, this is Mr. Deckard back again with another video. I'd like to extend on what we did last night. I showed you a different intro, just an example of how you might do a content creator's intro. I know some of you are interested in doing that, but even if you're not, it still has application for what we're doing right now. Before we go any further, of course, Diet Coke, taste of an older generation. So let me briefly go through the setup here, and we did a lot of this yesterday, and I don't want to repeat this. Video resolution 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p, frame rate 30. I'm going to cut my length down to 6 seconds because I don't need 10 seconds for what I'm about to do. I set this up for space. I've created 3 objects, Batman, 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 except this time I changed this layer so that I used red. I like the way the red looked better, and so I'm going to go with the red. Now I have my group set up here. I'm going to go ahead and zero this out because I tried something out. You see my Batman looks like so. Alright, so what I'm going to show you is a slide transition. And it is super easy to do, but this will introduce you to the concept of keyframes and how the timeline works at the bottom of the screen. And the timeline is this area right here, right at the bottom. You see these alternating light and medium gray lines. Well, that's it. And what happens when you hit play is you see that shadow line, vertical line, travel across that path. And whatever that crosses is the action that will happen. A keyframe is a marker in the timeline there where something changes. So let's do the setup here. I'm going to click the eye off, and I'm going to rotate the eye the screen this way because I'm going to use the red arrow, and I'm going to pull Batman completely off. I want it completely off. Then I'm going to come out, I don't know, I'm going to click about somewhere around 2 seconds, something like that. Then I'm going to come over to position here, and I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to zero this out, 0.00. Oop, 1, 2 zeros. There we go, and that takes it here. Then I'm going to allow that to set to about 3 seconds. Hit my position, and that's zeroed out. Then I'm going to come back out to about 5 or 6 seconds. Let's call it 5.5. I'm going to hit a position here, and then I'm going to pull Batman completely off the stage. Now I may have to rotate this around in order to pull that off, but I'm going to pull Batman off. Now, when I play this, this is what it's going to look like. See that? Kind of comes in, bounces for a second, then out it goes. Now I can set my gap for my stop to be longer. I can position this. Let's position it at, let's say ish there. Ish there. Now let's try it again. In quickly and out. I kind of like that better. Now you might say, well, why does that bounce like that? Well, that's because we have ease on. Easing is when you do a motion and you slowly take off and build up speed, and then you slowly decelerate to a stop instead of just instantly being full speed and instantly stopping. It gives you, what that does is it gives your object weight, because it would take a while. Think about it being in a car, for instance, at a stoplight. You don't instantly go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in a car. You have to accelerate to that point because the car has mass, and of course you have to overcome the inertia of the mass sitting at rest in order to get it up to full highway speed. Likewise, when it's up to full highway speed, you can't instantly stop. you have to bring that mass, you have to change its energy state, you have to slow it down by applying brakes and taking away that energy. Anyway, physics lesson aside, this gives it weight. It's kind of a cool effect. All right, and that's all there is to it. Now there are many other effects. You see there's rotation here. That's right. You could come in here and you could flip it and cause a rotation at some point here. Entirely possible. But for now, let's just play with a simple slide in, slide out transition. And that's really it. So with that, this is Mr. Deckard thanking you for watching, and have a good night.